Stadium just south of downtown Los Angeles. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Throwing now, Lawrence on first down. They're trying to find Sharp, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six on Charger TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And no return here for Agnew, so they'll bring it out, start the drive at the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, they come in losers of two straight. And remember, they've got the open date on their calendar next weekend. But we think it's vitally important, Charles, that they focus on the task at hand here.
Absolutely, because these players, they know what's coming up. And the difference between taking time off following a win versus doing so on a 3-game losing streak, that's absolutely huge, because they may come back if they lose this game to a facility, and there may be new faces in there and some teammates lost.
From the 27, Lawrence completing it here to Marvin Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Now here's a throw right side, taken in by his tight end. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL, so when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. From the shotgun, Lawrence. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Credit the sack to Joey Bosa. Not the start to this one that any quarterback would want or envision. Remember, he had the pick six, and here he ends up on his backside.
And you have to wonder to yourself, okay, after throwing the pick six, did he get too careful with the football and not deliver downfield and take that sack? They've got to make sure that he's really into this game.
Give him 19 on the play, but they will still come up a bit short. And now it's 4th down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker. But now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe. Because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll run for it with Robinson. Oh, and I think he went backward. He did. The Jags come up empty on 4th down. And the Charger defense stands tall, and they get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created a push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. Officially, it's a 1 yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. On the screen, this is Eckler. And a pretty little juke move there on a nice game. Give him 9 yards on the 2nd down screen play. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Gary and Conlon. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Well, this defense for the Chargers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape.
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. Extra point right down the middle. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. But that field position after the return wasn't terrific. It's not a great starting field position as well.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, He is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat, in every meeting with reporters. This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame him. He looks like a guy that may very well be out the door.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Off the play fake to Eckler, it's Herbert. Finds the open man, it's Mike Williams. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. 2 more yards. That's another Chargers. These two teams all tied after one. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Play action. It's Herbert. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert rolling to his right. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain. On 2nd down, Eckler. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Going on the ground with Eckler. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
This is a counter play. Eckler. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, here's Eckler. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down. The Chargers will bring out the field goal unit now. A 30-yard attempt. And Hopkins' kick is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So a good kick there, and they put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the throw.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Sitting in first place in the division. They've got an open date on the calendar coming up next week. So, Charles, you know. And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked by Kenneth Murray. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side, the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
On first down, it's Herbert. Looking for the end zone. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his second touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So there you go, Charles. We heard the rumblings that he wasn't happy with how he was being utilized, and I think this will silence him for a little while, at least for the time being. His first catch, a touchdown.
This feels like it had all the makings of being one of those stories that pops up and goes away pretty quickly. Let's face it, the attention span of us nowadays, not very long. And when things change for the better, it's not very long for him either. He's got to be excited.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll bring it out to the 25 as Agnew elects for the touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, cover from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And the Jaguars send out their punter as he's on a punt for the first time this afternoon. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So a 3rd and 10, and defensively, a dime look, 6 DBs. On the give, this is Eckler. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
On is the punter long here as he sends this one away.
It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
2nd down and 3. Now Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne.
And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Lawrence will throw.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Arnold. And he will go out right near the 35-yard line.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence.
And his throw here is incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Lawrence.
Dancing to his left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
DJ Chark, the intended target.
3rd down here.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Lawrence going to throw again.
Forced out to his left. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a 1st down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and that will knot things up here late in the 1st half. Well, maybe a nice psychological boost there just to get back to even with that field goal as we head towards half.
Coaching 101 always says at halftime, play it like it's 0-0 on the scoreboard. Well, in this case, it's level, right? Same score each side. Just start over. Now you get the second half to play.
The Charger drive about to get going. And we'll see how they want to play this. Just a little over 20 seconds to go. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Six yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And not much happening there as he'll get it back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. Here's Ty Long now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Looking up into the roof, and he muffs it. It's loose. And he will be able to recover this himself to prevent a wacky ending here, but that will be how this first half comes to an end. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This will be from 56 yards out. And that is no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So nothing separating these two teams as we head to the break all square. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. To get the party started for the 2nd half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Charger drive about to get going. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
At the 27-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 4. Once more, here's Eckler. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 61 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Eckler. Gets around him. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42. Vision and speed, two of the attributes that you might say are important for a free safety, and we saw both in evidence there.
And sometimes all of your best laid plans of play design, your X's and O's, they can't always account for individual effort defensively. And this was one of those times. Just a terrific play to hustle over there and get the running back to the ground.
On 2nd and 7, Herbert steps away to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. Now he's forced out left. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They go back to the ground now with Eckler. And bulldozing his way through. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
They'll run here with Eckler. And a penalty flag down as he gets only about a yard. And let's listen in on the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty. But it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Justin Herbert looking to pass. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a 2nd down here.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
A handoff, it's Eckler. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. 93 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Eckler. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
Trying to punch it in with Eckler. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Los Angeles. Austin Eckler, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half. Extra point good by Hopkins. And they will take a 7-point lead. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away.
Fair catch, made at the 25-yard line. The Jaguars
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
On play action, Lawrence. He'll buy some time right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. It's a big play for the Jaguars.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
They'll try the left side with Etienne.
And a good run as he manages 7 yards down to the 17.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
From the 17, Lawrence eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Able to complete this to Chenault.
And the Jaguars are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal.
And they'll run with Etienne.
Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
Once more, Etienne.
And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
And trying to shake free, but Etienne cannot. The defense will stop him short.
Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal.
Lawrence on the sneak.
Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Chargers hold tight down near the goal line. The Charger drive about to get going. Their defense forced the turnover on downs. They've got the lead. They're in good shape, but can't go into a shell here, right? Still got to be careful.
Yeah, because they're still a long way away from kneel down time. So they've got to work on getting first downs, keep the sticks moving, right? Keep the clock going, and above all, ball security. Don't turn it over.
Boy, a tight game like this, 4th quarter, personal foul penalties, a no-no.
Yeah, we know the emotions are running high. The tensions are the same. Who can control them best could ultimately win it.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Herbert will give this one to Eckler.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he finally is out of bounds, but he's down inside the 20-yard line. A big play there for L.A.
Well, fair to say that when you're looking at guys that can run like the wind, you often find them at the wide receiver position, and that was special there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Jags grab it. He's at the 50. He's at the 30. 10, 5, and he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. Nothing separating these two sides. 24 all our score as he sends this one away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
The Charger drive about to get going. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly to fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do. Because his primary job is defending against the pass, you don't often see a cornerback making tackles in the backfield. But he's playing run all the way here.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert got a man over the middle. It's Williams. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, coaches stress their defense being physical. They don't just mean the big guys. How about the guys on the outside, the cornerbacks? It's not just their job to patrol the airspace. They can get involved in the run game as well.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Herbert off of play action. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Herbert. He's airing it out for Williams.
And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Here's Ty Long now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Agnew now to return.
So holding on the return, and that's going to back him up to start the drive.
He was trying to get the job done correctly, just trying to clear a little space for his returner. Ended up getting a little too much jersey and hooked the guy, hence the flag.
Running out of the gun with Etienne. A first down and more, Etienne.
He's at the 50, 30, 10, touchdown, Jaguars.
Travis Etienne, 92 yards. And the Jaguars strike quickly to take the lead here in the fourth.
The extra point splits the uprights, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Jaguars 31, Chargers 24.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
23-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5 at the 28-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Meanwhile, Herbert's throwing into the hands of his receiver, Guyton.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the fourth. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
Herbert to throw.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens in bounds.
Throwing, Herbert. Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down.
4th down for Herbert. Desperation time. Finding Allen.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Eckler running it. Wow, incredible.
Miss.
The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Chargers. 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Now Herbert.
Escaping the pressure right. And he'll be forced out of bounds shy of the line of scrimmage, so that'll be credited as a sack. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Herbert gonna throw.
He's got it to Williams. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. And they'll try again here, 1st and goal after the false start.
Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go.
Herbert.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
Well, any crisis of confidence seems to have been safely put to bed. This his 2nd touchdown now of the ball game.
And now you just have to go ahead and get ready because you know he's going to be saying it and saying it and saying it. He's telling his team that's more like it. That's what happens when you get me the football. Keep doing it, and we'll keep scoring touchdowns.
Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. In a tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay?
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And picked up by the Chargers. And in for the score. Are you kidding me? They return it, and they take the lead. So many times, tight games decided by one big play. A lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
Hopkins with the extra point, and they will take a 7-point lead. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear the coaches from all the way up here. They were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
He's back to throw. And Shark calls it in. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. A final shot now for Lawrence. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.